Hey, this is Robert from GHR, the Nation's Podcast Radio. Sorry about clearing my throat, but it's been a while since I've done a video. And just to give you an update, me and Pamela did do a video a couple weeks back. We had some technical difficulties. Sound wasn't working on her end. Video stopped working, so I chose not to uh, put that video out. So that's just a quick update of what's actually going on. Uh, So I really kind of want to touch on a few things here, and I want to make something really clear here. And one of those things I want to make clear is the way that everything has been going on in our nation right now, with the Democrats and the Republicans and stuff like that. I'm seeing a kind of a movement going on, and the movement is based on uh, who's right or who's wrong. And what I'm saying is it's kind of extraordinary to see this stuff actually unfolding. In my whole lifetime, I've never seen such a mess. And what I'm trying to say here is that we, as a country, we need to kind of pull together. We need to kind of get through this. It's really all about hating Donald Trump. It has nothing to do with anything other than that. These people, Democrats, the extreme lefty side, I wanted to say lefties, the extreme left, they hate Donald Trump with so much passion that they're willing to do anything and spend as much money as it takes. I want you guys to understand something. I want you to think about something. First thing I want you to understand. I'm sorry. First thing I want you to do is to focus on how much money is being spent to pursue this man. He is the president. He's not going away. He will be reelected in 2020. Now, there is a chance, a small chance. Now we have to be careful here because everybody said that Donald Trump wouldn't win. You know, now it looks like Joe Biden is going to be the guy running against Trump. You know, all I know is this. Okay, I don't go right. I don't go left. I am really down the center. I am trying to make sense of this whole entire fiasco. And I watch different news agencies, but here's what this president has proven to me. And this is the honest God truth. This is nobody. I'm just a guy. Okay, I work for a living. Matter of fact, I'm in my office right now. But here's what it's all about. It I have not seen anything that would really, like, these policies that they're spitting out, like, Bernie Sanders, for instance. Now, I have a really good friend who who likes Bernie Sanders and all this other stuff, and I listen to what Bernie Sanders has to say. Now, I don't listen to him in uh, the debates because I feel he's reacting out of passion because people are attacking him. So I've listened to a couple interviews that people have had with him, and he seems like a really nice person. I don't have anything against him, but when I hear some of the policies that he wants to put forth, I think it's absolutely crazy and insane. He has to stop saying free this, free that. It's what's really remarkable is national studies show that the only people that are going after Bernie are really like young people, because they're the millennials. They don't want to work. They don't want to make a living. They love free. Anything free where they can go out and they can go to the beach. They can go snowboarding. They can do whatever the heck they want to do without having to work and get money, everything taken care of. Uh, I think colleges, if he had anything that he wanted to really help our economy and he wanted to do something, one thing that he could possibly do that would be awesome is forget about the college. Let's talk about skilled trade. Skilled trade is where it's at in this country. And I used to work with the Buster Mathis Foundation. We were actually talking about the skilled trade. And I learned a lot during that time, and I was kind of blown away. Honestly, I was blown away. At the time, it was like 14% of all college graduates end up in their chosen career paths. Only 14%. And it made me think, oh, what about all these other people? What are they doing? Well, they're paying off student debt, is what they're doing. They're going back to college. They're trying to find something. Colleges offer great things for people. However, this is what happens: is um, a person goes to college, they want to get into a profession, they graduate from college, they go to get that job, and there's no jobs available. That's just like graphic designers. Oh boy, graphic designers are so not needed. It's flooded, and anybody that's going into graphic design, all I can tell you is you'll do better on your own as a freelancer than you will working for a firm, because there's not jobs available. You might be lucky to know somebody to get into that field, but that's it. So these are the kinds of things that maybe Bernie or Joe Biden should be looking at, instead of sitting there and criticizing Donald Trump, who is our president. Now, I see some of the things that Donald Trump is doing for the military. I'm a huge advocate for the military, because I believe that the military is treated so wrong. Guys, you have no idea. Politicians get paid their salaries even after they leave their positions. They get free health care for the rest of their life, not only for them, but for their immediate family as well. Our military gets VA benefits, nothing for their family. They don't get no more money, and that's it. When they're done, they're done. It's like, you're done, out you go. And this is where I would like to see Donald Trump focus a lot of energy on, is seriously concentrating on our military and what happens to our military when they leave. Now, I know that there's military personnel who basically they get out because they leave because of mental issues, or they don't finish their time, and or it could be drug offenses, it could be all this other stuff. Should these guys qualify for these benefits? I believe to a certain extent. I believe it should be on a tier, like a tier kind of deal. If you serve in the military and you serve in a war, or you are deployed somewhere out of the country and stuff like that, and you spend 4 to 6 years, you should get all benefits when you get out. I think that they should. I think it would be really cool if Donald Trump, our president right now, would put together a system in which when our military got out of the military, they had some place to go to. Even if it means taking their hand and leading them down that road. Okay, because you have to understand that a lot of these guys have post-traumatic stress disorder. They're not all there when they first get out, and they don't know what they're going to do. The only thing they knew was the life that they had. So, so with that being said, I think it's really, really, really important that we focus a lot of energy on our military and stop paying these politicians billions of dollars every year to run our country, and they're not really doing that great of a job. I cannot say what would fix it. All I know is how I feel as a normal person. Like I said, I am just this person who is sitting, watching this whole thing unfold, and I'm going to tell you something. When I seen the debate, I think they call it the Dukakis, and they're sitting there all fighting. The Democrats are all arguing, and they're all talking all over each other. I've never been so embarrassed of our country, of those people, in my whole entire life. I was embarrassed that other countries are watching this unfold, and do you honestly believe that that we want these people, any of those people, to run our country? I don't. I think it's horrible. Um, One thing that I thought was kind of cool is the fact that if there would have been one of those people out of all of them that just sat there, looked over, shook his head, and said, "You know what? This is ridiculous." If he would have just that person, he or she would have just walked off the stage and then and did a public announcement, and tell these people, yeah, we should be having this because they can't do it professionally. This is the United States of America. Oh my God, those people acted like asses, humiliating our country, and yet you guys want to support these people? Seriously? Come on. There are better people to take that position. Okay? I want to touch on State of the Union. That, um, regardless, I don't care who the president, how much you hate, anybody that would stand behind him and make faces and then tear up the papers like Nancy Pelosi did, she ought to be jailed. I'm serious, man. She needs to go to prison. She needs to be stripped down to her life, all of her money stripped away, anything that she has ever made, and she needs to live like a normal human being. That's prison enough. Honest to God, take away everything that she has and put her in an apartment, make her get a job maybe in a restaurant, waiting on tables. She'd really appreciate our country then, wouldn't she? I doubt it, because all she would do is probably eat a bullet. I think that that woman was the most disrespectful person. Adam Schiff, he's a retard. That's all I can say. And you know what? That was wrong for me to even compare him to that, and I apologize. Um, I don't even know if there's a word for this guy because I watched the whole proceedings, and this guy he's a tool. Let's just say it that way, because I don't want to compare him to anybody. Um, and I totally retract that because I was wrong for saying that. Just a figure of speech. Let's just say it that way. Um, so right now we're looking at we're in 2020. Just seemed like just yesterday. It's like it was 2000, right? Uh, I'm kind of like really happy for our country to be, the way it is. And I believe that a lot of the policies that Trump is putting out there, I believe we should enforce our borders. I'd rather say enforced rather than say closed, because when people get closed, they take it the wrong way. And if anybody thinks that he's doing this to be racist, you're wrong. Okay? You look at the United States, look at the bottom of the United States, and think about how many people can come across the border into our country. And I also hate the word illegal. Illegal alien, I hate that. I wish we could come up with a different terminology, because illegal makes it sound, I know, they're not here. They didn't become United States citizen. So the illegal part kind of bothers me just a little bit, but I understand what it's supposed to mean, but I just want to make perfectly clear how I feel about this, being a normal person. So, here's my whole thing. We live in a great country. We need to take care of our own before we can take care of other countries. We need to spend money on our country. We have homeless people. We need to create more jobs. We need to have a country that can support its own before we can support other countries. That's just the way I feel. I believe that our healthcare ought to be affordable, not costing people a lot of money and stuff. And I believe that the pharmaceuticals ought to be like spanked, because it's just like I know a story of a guy who found out he had cancer and it was treatable, but he couldn't afford the treatment. You know what the doctor says to him? Well, we'll just try to make you feel comfortable. He had to have money in order to survive. If he didn't have money, he wasn't going to survive. That's wrong. That needs to change. But we have other people coming into our country from other countries, okay? They come here, they live here, they maybe become citizens, maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? They have lawyers, and if they get offended, they sue us. I think that's wrong. We let way too many people from different countries try to run our country and file lawsuits and win lawsuits and destroy people's lives because they're offended. Well, and if we're offended by their religion, it doesn't matter because then we become racist or whatever the case may be. So here's my solution. Let's just try to get all along. Let's try to get along with each other. Let's try to do something. Let's try to make an effort. You know what I'm saying? This is a great country. And I just want to say that I am very happy to be a part of this. So if anybody's got anything to say it in the comments below. If you want to subscribe to GHTR, the Nation's Podcast Radio, please hit the subscribe button. And let me tell you something else. We are going to be having a lot more shows. It's coming. And I think you're going to be surprised. We have a new set coming up. We're actually, great news is that Chris Allen is going to be coming to Michigan soon. And he's going to be we're going to be sitting in the same room. We're going to be firing up the podcast. We're going to be talking, having a great time. So if anybody has anything to say, this is the time to do it and help us along. Hey, I want to thank everybody for watching. You guys have a wonderful day, and be sure to pray for those who need help and help those who need help. All right, have a good day.